anybody in the Capitol, Washington, D.C., we're going to be seeking the death penalty.
Now on WTOL 11 Plus, the President of the United States addressing crime in the nation's capital.
It is just one of several topics that were discussed at today's cabinet meeting in the White House.
It's obviously alarming to have to go through this so frequently.
And more than a dozen wildfires are burning across the West Coast. From Oregon to California, thousands of firefighters are on the ground trying to get the flames under control tonight.
And a warning this evening from FEMA workers, employees sending a letter to Congress about why they say they're concerned with recent changes.
Welcome to WTOL 11 Plus now, Toledo's only local live full 30-minute exclusively streaming newscast only on WTOL 11 Plus. I'm Kaylee Marentet.
And I'm Jeff Smith. We're going to start off tonight with a word of warning if you live in Lucas County to be on the lookout for a jury duty scam.
Well, Jeff, callers will tell you that you missed jury duty but have to pay or be arrested. Megan Hartnett talked with someone who almost fell for this scam.
They left me a voicemail, and they were very professional sounding.
My name is Sergeant Kenneth Poston, calling with the Lucas County Sheriff Department.
It sounded serious. So why would you not call back?
Todd Stanton says he didn't think he would be the person to fall for a scam call, but he almost did last week, calling the number left in his voicemail back.
He said, because of this failure to show up for jury duty, I have these 2 warrants.
Stanton says he never received a notification for jury duty, but did get a postcard regarding a juror questionnaire a few months back.
Did whatever it needed me to do, but then I began to question it when, I got this phone call.
He was given case numbers and told to go to the sheriff's office to pay a fine of $9,000, but it would be possible to get the money back if he cooperated.
There'll be a kiosk there, and you'll have to enter in these case numbers. And I'm like, okay, for what? Why do I got to do this? Well, because you failed to show up for court.
Stanton says he was transferred to another officer who told him he could be arrested or detained because of these warrants, and he had to pay the fine today.
They said they can't take the money over the phone, which made that sound believable too.
Stanton says he started driving to the sheriff's office, but on the way the call got disconnected, so he called the sheriff's office directly.
They said there is no issues, there's no warrants for my arrest. They said I'm like the 5th caller that day.
Stanton says he wasn't sure what to expect because he never served jury duty and because it was an authority figure. The clerk of court's office says if you actually miss jury duty, you'll get a letter.
We will not contact you by phone. We will not call you and say that you owe us money. We will not do that.
Megan Hartnett is joining us in studio tonight to talk about her story. Megan, $9,000 is a lot. We cover a lot of scams. How do you feel as a journalist seeing all these scams happen and then to see one as big as this happen?
I mean, like you said, $9,000, it's a lot of money. And that's, I think what's scary in situations like this is because people don't know what to do. And in this scenario, it's what the sheriff's office said. It's what the clerk of court's office said. It's what, Stanton, the man I spoke to, said himself, is that it's coming from a place of authority when they're saying it's the sheriff's office calling. And so people are not sure what to do in that situation. And so even though $9,000 may seem like a ridiculous amount, if it's coming from an authority figure, they're willing to do whatever it is to pay it. Mm-hmm. Even if, you take a step back and say, okay, $9,000 doesn't seem reasonable for missing jury duty, in this scenario.
We were talking about earlier, you get a call from the sheriff's office, it's a little bit more intimidating than Amazon calling you or something.
Or even those bank ones, you get those ones where it's like the robocalls, and that's where Stanton said this one seems so much more impressive in that they said, it's just a guy talking. He called and left a voice message and just said, hey, I'm with the sheriff's office. We were just trying to get in contact with you. When you get a chance, give us a call back. Very casual the whole time, keeping a calm demeanor whenever he was on the phone with them. So these people are not aggravating things. They're not asking for personal information. They're saying, oh, we don't want you to send the payment over the phone. We don't want you to risk that. So they're taking
crazy.
Exactly. And that's what you always hear, like never give personal information out, never send it through the phone, never say anything. And that's where he said they never asked me for personal information. They just only were directing me on what to do so that this issue could be resolved. And so for that's why he said it just felt way more believable, because it wasn't those red flags that you're normally looking for.
It's like the scammers have almost adapted to know what not to ask, what to ask to really trick somebody like this.
Exactly.
So the man you spoke with also, he said he had never been called for jury duty. And if you've never been called for jury duty before, you might not know what the process is like.
Exactly. And he said, you know, he had gotten a postcard earlier this year, but it wasn't related specifically to jury duty. It was just a questionnaire for jurors. And so he said he didn't know if he had missed something with that. But other than that, he had never been summoned for jury duty, so he didn't know, how do you get called? Did I miss something? What happens if I did miss it? You know, is it normal for them to call me? But like the clerk of court's office says, they will never call you. They're never going to send someone to your house or anything like that. You're going to get something in the mail, and that if you do happen to receive a call like this or anything that seems a little concerning, just to call them, figure it out. They're more than happy to get things figured out, because if you do eventually pay this money, there's nothing they can do to help you get it back.
Oh, that's quite scary. Yeah. All right, Megan Hartnett joining us in studio tonight. Jeff, we're going to send it back to you.
Kaylee, Megan, thanks. We are tracking the stories making headlines around the world and across the country right now. Going to talk about those wildfires out west. They continue to grow and spread across multiple states. It's being considered the worst school shooting in a decade. New emails related to the Uvalde, Texas shooting investigation. Those will be released soon. Next on the list, FEMA employees signing a warning letter to Congress. A breakdown. We'll have that breakdown of what is in that letter. But first, President Trump is raising the stakes on his crackdown on crime in the nation's capital. More than 2,000 National Guards troops are patrolling the streets of Washington to fight crime, some of them carrying their service weapons. President Trump says Baltimore or Chicago could be next. The Maryland and Illinois governors, they have pushed back. Speaking from the cabinet room today, the president did not back away from his plan to fire Fed Governor Lisa Cook over allegations of mortgage fraud. Cook says she will not resign. Nearly 200 current and former Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA, employees sent a warning letter to Congress regarding recent changes. FEMA workers accusing the Trump administration of eroding the agency's response capabilities and appointing unqualified leadership. The letter, titled Katrina Declaration, warned about the possibility of failure similar to the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. In 2005, the agency's rescue efforts exposed severe flaws in the federal emergency response system. The letter argues reforms in place since the deadly storm are now being unraveled. More than 1,000 emails related to the 2022 Robb Elementary School massacre in Uvalde, Texas will be released. A lawyer admitted at a school board meeting on Monday night that a mistake had been made in withholding them. The board of the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District voted weeks ago to release the public records related to the attack. Board members stressed that they played no part in the records not being released. The May 2022 school shooting was the worst in a decade, where 19 students and 2 teachers were killed. Out to the West Coast now, and the intense heat is fueling at least 55 large wildfires. In Central Oregon, crews are battling the flat fire, as it's called. Although it's burned several homes, firefighters say they have saved hundreds more. In Northern California's Napa County, more than 2,000 firefighters are battling the picket fire by day and by night. There's a local health emergency here in Napa County because of the fire. County officials are concerned that the debris from the fire could contaminate the water, creating a public health hazard.
Still to come on WTOL 11 Plus now, a first responder suffers a frightening fall while battling a house fire, and it was all caught on camera. Plus, check this out, a wall of dust passing through Phoenix last night, leaving many people with almost zero visibility. Chris?
I'm going to take a deeper look at that and also our look at our weather, where record lows could be possible over the next 12 to 24 hours. We'll preview that in my 10-day forecast coming up.
If you're watching on WTOL 11 Plus, you already know about our exclusive streaming platform, but do you follow WTOL 11 on social media? Right now there's a video you have to see on our TikTok page. Meteorologist Kaylee Bowers explains why we are feeling these fall temperatures in August.
The flip-flops, Toledo's getting a taste of fall in August. This isn't a scheduling mistake. Cooler air from Canada has crept in, causing daytime temperatures to be in the 70s and nighttime lows in the 40s and 50s. And the Climate Prediction Center isn't letting up. Cooler air is expected for the next 8 to 14 days. So go ahead, bust out the layers, and enjoy this fall feeling while it lasts.
Well, make sure to follow us on the WTOL 11 TikTok page. There's plenty to watch, including the latest stories about being talked about locally and nationally. Caught on camera, a Pennsylvania firefighter falls through the second floor of a burning home. The volunteer firefighter company says crews were working on the second story when the hole opened up, causing the firefighter to tumble nearly 13 feet. It took other firefighters only 31 seconds to get their teammate out of the house. Incredibly, the first responder escaped without a severe or life-threatening injury. I'll take a look at this. Down in Georgia, a four-legged friend needed rescuing after falling into the Chattahoochee River. As you can see, crews hopped in right away into that river after they got a call about a stranded canine. Reportedly, the dog fell down an embankment into the water and got stuck. The crews got the pooch out and to shore, taking a moment after the rescue to snap a pic with the dog to show they were okay. Out west, an incredibly wicked-looking wall of dust washed over Phoenix, Arizona. Cameras from all over capturing the towering storm as it swept into the metro, causing near-zero visibility. Power was knocked out to more than 60,000 people and shutting down the airport for an hour. Arizona State, look at that. Arizona State University shows a time lapse of the storm sweeping across its football stadium.
Is that where Noel went?
It is.
Okay.
A thunderstorm following the dust also caused some shooting lightning bolts across the sky.
Wow.
I was just going to say, she should be out here to kind of talk to us about
Break
this.
it play by
She's
play, right?
experienced
Noelle
it.
Blumel,
I want the
our sports
play-by-play.
reporter anchor, she went to school out at ASU and hails from California. But I remember we went out to Phoenix for spring training over March, and it was dusty. I remember that. Obviously, you're out there in the desert.
It's the desert, Jeff.
But something like this is just incredible.
It's incredible. So consider this too. It's monsoon season right now. They get a lot of thunderstorm activity that kicks up a lot of wind. So that's actually ultimately what drives these dust storms.
But here's my question.
Okay.
It was a roll. It
Yes.
wasn't like a swirl like a tornado.
Let me put it in perspective. You know when we get a thunderstorm and you get that initial gust front that feels cool?
Yes.
It's invisible to our eyes because we don't have the dust, but that's exactly what's occurring. It's a rolling current of air that's coming out from the thunderstorm. Now, hang on here. There's a technical name for this. It is called a haboob, and you may have seen this kind of floating around social media. So we'll take you to the weather graphics here. It is actually derived from Arabic because these were common in the desert area, it specifically originated from the Sudan where dust storms were common. Back in the 1970s, scientists noted that there's a common occurrence in the desert Southwest that's similar to this, so they've just kind of incorporated that terminology into these dust storms that are now known as a haboob. You could see that maybe floating around online, but now you know, and you have a little extra terminology of what goes behind the weather associated with that. Mid to upper 60s to lower 70s. What a cool fall feeling we have tonight with clear skies. We expect we're going to be generally dry. There's going to be a sneaky shower or two that tries to make its way into the area. Isolated shower if you're up in Adrian. You're about ready to get a little rain that's going to last about 5 to 7 minutes. And that shower is going to pass right on through, and the sun still may come out yet this evening before we hit sundown time. Bus stop forecast. Got to warn you about this. It is going to be a cold start to the morning. Mid to upper 40s. We could be looking at record lows into the morning. It is going to be bright, but that morning you walk out the door, got to take a breath, and it's going to see your breath immediately sort of condense right in front of you. So it's going to be a very chilly start to the day. Close to 70 for outdoor recess. Mid 70s into the afternoon. It will be a pristine looking day. Next rain chance is going to be out there with another cool shot arriving on Thursday. So we are going to get a decent chance of some rain on Thursday. And I can highlight the hour-by-hour timing of that. Clear skies tonight, calm conditions. That's why we fall back into the 40s. It is going to be a chilly start to the morning on Wednesday. Brighter conditions into the afternoon. We're dry all day Wednesday, so no chance of any rain Wednesday. Here's when that rain does come back into the area Thursday. By Thursday morning, it could be as early as 7 a.m. bus stop time, rain into the area. Now, for most, I suspect this is going to be around 1/4 inch of rain. Some areas could squeeze out up to 1/2 inch of total rainfall if we get a little secondary surge of some showers into Thursday afternoon. Now, our forecast into Wednesday. Tomorrow morning, we're looking at a chilly start to the day. Sweatshirts, jackets, hoodies, you're going to need them all. Mid to upper 40s, right around 50 through about 8 a.m. Highs into the afternoon will reach into the 70s. And our 10-day forecast is 76 Wednesday. Believe it or not, that's going to be the warmest day now till early next week. Rain chances will be out there Thursday, likely to get about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. Low 70s Friday, mid to upper 70s by the time we reach the end of the holiday weekend, and a pristine, gorgeous weekend. Not a drop of rain, low humidity. I'm talking non-existent humidity through the weekend, and then back into the low 80s early next week as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's look at your 10-day forecast. Jeff, back over to you.
Chris, thanks. Still to come, a local doctor facing aggravated arson charges was sentenced today. We're going to tell you how long he'll be behind bars.
Plus, a crash involving a school bus filled with students. It's the second one this week to happen in Northwest Ohio. We'll have the details next.
What do we want? What do we want?
And it was day 4 of the Libby Glass strike. We stopped by the picket line today. We'll find out whether any progress in negotiations has been made. We're so glad to have you with us here on WTOL 11 Plus now, Toledo's only exclusively streaming 30-minute live local newscast.
We're breaking down your top stories tonight, starting with a doctor being sentenced today. A former medical fellow at the University of Toledo will spend the next 4 to 6 years in prison. 34-year-old Andrew Campbell was sentenced this morning in Lucas County Common Pleas Court. Campbell pleaded no contest to 3 counts of aggravated arson last month after setting another doctor's home on fire in Sylvania Township in December of last year. As part of the plea deal, 3 additional counts of aggravated arson were dismissed. Campbell must register as a lifetime arson offender.
We're also getting reports that a bicyclist was injured after he was hit by a driver in Fulton County over the weekend. According to the Fulton County Sheriff's Office, 51-year-old Charles Miller was riding on State Route 120 and County Roads 15-1 near Lyons. This was just before 1:30 Saturday afternoon. Deputies received a call for an injured bicyclist and found Miller. They determined that Miller was riding eastbound on State Route 120 when he was hit by that unknown vehicle. Miller's family telling WTOL 11 that he was taken to the hospital. Authorities are still investigating. If you have any information on the incident or the suspected driver, you are encouraged to call the Fulton County Sheriff's Office. The number at the bottom of the screen, I'll read it for you, 419-335-4010. Once again, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office if you have any information to share. Officials are reminding drivers to be extra careful as far as sharing the roads with school buses this time of the year. It comes after a school bus carrying 12 high school and middle school students was involved in an accident in Wood County this morning. Thankfully, nobody was injured. School officials say the accident ended up just being a fender bender, but the superintendent of Elmwood says he's noticed an increase in people driving poorly around school buses over the last few years.
It concerns me because this is, right now, we've been lucky with the upticks that nobody has been hurt. But if they continue running red lights and we continue to have more accidents, somebody's going to get seriously injured, and that scares me.
This morning's crash marked the second such accident in the last week here in Northwest Ohio, following another school bus accident in Springfield Township.
What do we want? What do we want?
It's day 4 of workers striking at Libby Glass. Dozens of employees were out on the picket lines this afternoon. Union officials confirmed workers are committed to picketing in 6-hour increments, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until a contract is in place. The workers are being represented in talks by IAM and United Steelworkers. Union officials say there are no updates or ongoing conversations with Libby Glass, meaning negotiations have not resumed at this point. A representative for the United Steelworkers says the last contact they had with the company was last Thursday.
When the employer says we're now available to talk and continue negotiations, it puts a real sour taste in your mouth because you don't feel that you don't feel appreciated.
The last strike from workers at Libby Glass was in 2016 and lasted 15 days. As of now, officials from Libby Glass have not responded to our request for comment.
We appreciate you spending some time with us here on WTOL 11 Plus. You have already found Toledo's only local live exclusively streaming newscast, but have you had the chance to check out the other great programming here on Plus? This week on Well Read, Well Said, the group discusses the books that they've read in the past and what they'll be reading next.
I want to ask, do you probably work with people who are in book clubs?
Yes.
What I've never been in a book club specifically because I don't want people telling me what to read, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way, but how can we get past this where these books that you're bringing and other libraries are bringing are clearly successful books, thousands of people like them, but we're just not. What's that up? What's up with that?
What's wrong with us?
There's nothing wrong with you guys. Trust me.
A lot of things are wrong.
A lot of things, but that's with most people. So it's just the name of the game. You got to find things that really connect with you and resonate with you. Sometimes that doesn't happen for a while. Our librarians are a great resource. I know, Kaylee, you emailed me. I got these, I said, hey, Kristen, who's our information services coordinator, do you have some recommendations for me? She got back right away.
Have you ever heard of a book club? Because this is my idea, that everybody just reads what they want and then they talk about it.
We did. We had a books with friends, I believe it was called. I don't know if it's still going on, but everyone just brought their own books and we all sit together and we discuss whatever anyone wants to bring. So they can choose, if someone's really into romance, say I don't really like horror, I can bring a romance book and talk with horror readers or mystery
Because I personally feel like if each one of us read something that we know we're gonna like, then we have 4 recommendations for our friends out there to pick what we say are 4 good books, rather than we're coming up here and trashing these authors every week just because we can't agree on it. Do you think that we're convincing each other not to like the book?
You can check out the full episode of Well Read, Well Said right after WTOL 11 Plus now.
Well, her love story is complete. Congratulations are in order tonight. Taylor Swift is engaged. The singer announced her engagement to football star Travis Kelce on Instagram earlier this afternoon. The couple has been together for the past 2 years. The Instagram post took a line from one of her songs many fans speculated was about Kelce. It also featured pictures of the engagement along with the ring. I'm going to call it a rock because that's pretty much what it is.
The Powerball jackpot continues to climb. There was no winner in last night's drawing. It is now expected to go up to $815 million before tomorrow's drawing. This would make it the 7th largest in that lottery's history. The cash value of the payout, if taken in the lump sum, would be about $368 million. The jackpot could go even higher if more people than expected go out and buy tickets before the drawing tomorrow.
That's the one that's a couple bucks a ticket, right?
$2.
Yeah.
$2 a ticket.
$2.
Mega Millions is 5. We talked about this yesterday.
Yes,
right?
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not too bad. $2.
Let's go back to the Taylor Swift thing. Were you somebody who was following that? Did you see it initially on social media? Are you surprised by the reaction?
I learned when I came into the newsroom today and saw that it was in our show.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I wish we could pull up some pictures of the actual, where
The
he
rock, you
proposed.
said?
Yeah, where he proposed, gorgeous. Yeah, the ring, insane. I would love to know how much that cost. What
I couldn't
carat
even
we're talking.
imagine.
Yeah.
Well, remember, Travis is an Ohio boy as well, played high school ball here in Ohio. Some people are recruiting him to bring the wedding back to Ohio, including our own Toledo Metro Parks. We're saying on social media, hey, we've got great venues
parks,
here on the Maumee River. Could you imagine? How could you not want to?
It's so funny. I saw this social media post today showing Travis and his brother, who obviously played for the Philadelphia Eagles and retired last year, but they were both students at UC at the same time, and they look like 2 dopey dudes. And the caption underneath said, one of them was chosen sexiest man of the year, the other one is marrying Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Not
I
what you
get
would
that.
expect.
Yeah. All right, weather tonight, we're going to be turning much colder. The potential is a record low could be set tonight. Current stands at 48 into Wednesday morning. I think at the Toledo Metro, we're going to hit 48. Some areas outlying from the Toledo Metro, maybe back even in the low to mid 40s. It has been 2,113 days since our last. I counted each and every one, Jeff.
How many hours?
5 years, 9 months, and 13 days, give or take a few hours. But since then, we've had 33 straight record highs. That's kind of what's incredible about this. We've gone so long without a record low. Tomorrow morning could change that. Rain then back on Thursday, low 70s, and we'll stay close to 70 Friday. Very low humidity. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, if you have weekend plans, make sure they include some outdoor time. It is going to be great as we really get the college football season underway.
Thank you so much for spending part of your day with us here on WTOL 11 Plus.
Remember, this is your home for more than just news. You can stream our full lineup of local content anytime.